I don't think you should move him. The master's dead. It's a fruit knife.
This is definitely not good. The knife went all the way through the notebook. At least one thing's for certain, whoever did this must be really strong.
If that's the case, then another thing's certain. The culprit has to be a man. And since we haven't seen Mr. Yutaka Tamaru around today, well...
What do you want to do about your little sister?
I don't want her to know anything about this.
It looks as if we have a real mystery on our hands here. In fact, what we have is a closed circle. First impressions are that this is a murder. We have a room where the door and windows are locked from the inside. Now then, if the room was locked when we got to it, how did the killer enter the room, commit the crime, and then leave the scene?
Kyun, did something bad happen?
I told you already. Mr. Keiichi got sick and he's resting in his room. So we have to stay here, okay?
So, is Mikuru sick? Kyun, can we talk? Yuki, lock the door. And don't open it for anyone, no matter what. Got that? I understand. Do you think he was murdered?
That's what it looks like.
Oh, this is nuts. I never thought something like this would ever really happen.
But all you keep saying is how badly you wanted something mysterious to happen.
Well, yeah, because I never really thought it would happen.
A murder happens in a locked room on a deserted island in the middle of a typhoon. What are the chances we'd stumble onto something like that while on vacation? Then again, maybe this is happening because Haruhi wished for it to happen.
We're in some really big trouble, aren't we?
Right now, she looks like a mischievous little boy, worried about how an April Fool's joke went from bad to worse. I hate to say this, but as far as prime suspects go, Mr. Yutaka is front and center. No one knows where he is. It's like he just up and vanished.
Hey, wait a minute. Yesterday, Mikuru told me something. Don't let it hit the water! Nice! Here comes another one!
She saw them arguing?
That's what it looked like anyway. And last night, I overheard something. Remember? I went to the bathroom during the game. I was standing in this same spot.
Yeah, I'm in a hurry. Get my passport and traveler's checks ready, okay?
Now I know what that was about. I'll bet you anything that he was arranging his escape overseas.
But what about the sealed room? He wasn't trying to fake Mr. Keiichi's suicide, so what's the point in locking up the room like that?
I can't just stand here and not do anything. Come on, we're gonna go take a closer look in Mr. Keiichi's room.
I'm sorry. I called the police already, and they insisted that no one is allowed inside the room until they arrive on the island.
Did they say when they would get here?
I checked the forecast, and right now it looks like the weather will start clearing up by tomorrow afternoon. It's safe to assume that the police would arrive around then.
Was his door locked all night long?
I have no idea. When I saw that the door was closed, I knocked.
And that's it?
Mr. Keiichi keeps important work-related documents in there, and it was forbidden to open the door if he didn't answer it. He was very adamant about that.
So Mr. Keiichi and Mr. Yutaka didn't get along with each other?
I really wouldn't know anything about that. There are many things regarding those two with which I'm not familiar. You see, Miss Mori and myself have been employed here at the mansion for only 1 week.
Only a week?
Miss Mori and myself are working part-time as Mr. Keiichi's temporary maid and butler. Our contract with him was brief. It was to last a mere 2 weeks out of the summer.
So you two were just hired to work here and you never worked for him before this?
Precisely. As for the relationship between the two brothers, all I know is that Mr. Yutaka was an employee in Mr. Keiichi's company.
Something's not right. I've suddenly got a strange feeling about this.
Koizumi! What are you doing?
I was just having a look around the mansion. I can't find Mr. Yutaka anywhere. How about you?
I'm going outside to see if the boat's still there.
I don't think you'll find the boat.
What do you mean?
Well, late last night, I noticed that Mr. Yutaka seemed as if he were in an awful hurry. I saw him heading for the front entrance.
Then, are you implying that Mr. Yutaka took the boat and left the island?
I'm not positive that's what happened, no. But that was the last time I saw Mr. Yutaka.
About what time?
I believe it was around 1 o'clock in the morning.
One wrong step and we'll both fall off the cliff. Oh well. Even if we fall, when I'm with her, I feel like my chances for survival are pretty good.
Kyun, do you see that?
The boat's gone. So Mr. Yutaka did it after all. Gray skies and black seas. It reminds me of being inside a closed space. There's no way I'd ever get used to a monochromatic world like this.
Kyun!
Huh?
Someone's there! See? Just past the rocks! I wonder if somebody else is out there looking. Or maybe that's the murderer!
Hurry! Wait! Hey, are you sure you saw him come down this way?
He had to! This is the only path!
Hurry!
Kyun! 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 Are you alright? Are you alive?
Yeah, I guess I'm okay.
Looks like we're in a tough spot.
Yeah. I don't think we can make it back to the path.
Hey, over there!
Fortunately, it was warm inside the cave. Was it just the Earth's heat? Or was there an underground hot spring nearby?
I know I saw a shadow back there.
You sure it was even a person? I mean, maybe it was something else.
No way! I saw what I saw. Although, I was thinking... Hey, Kyun, do you really think that Mr. Yutaka killed Mr. Keiichi?
What are you getting at?
Well, I've just been thinking about everything. According to what Miss Mori said a little while ago, Mr. Yutaka left the island around 1 in the morning. When we found Mr. Keiichi's body, I touched him. He was still warm. You see what I'm getting at? His body was still warm. That means Mr. Keiichi was killed right before we found his body.
So what does that mean? Mr. Yutaka left the mansion at night in the middle of a typhoon, hid till morning, then stabbed Mr. Keiichi before splitting the island?
But I don't think that's how it happened. Look, even if Mr. Keiichi was killed an hour before we found him, that means someone should have seen or heard something. Remember, we were all awake and wandering around the place. Someone should have heard something. A sound, a scream.
Don't you think that's strange? I mean, you really think that Mr. Keiichi stayed alive for hours on end and managed to lock himself in his room after being stabbed? Think about it. If Mr. Yutaka wasn't the murderer, then why'd he run away?
Wait! I got it! Now I've got it. I know what happened in there.